Hey there, folks. Hope you're doing well today. Today, we wanted to explore the baby eating conspiracy around Jeffrey Epstein and show how it takes away accountability from those people who actually committed real crimes. Asmongold actually demonstrated this in real time. Asmongold actually demonstrated this in real time on a live stream just yesterday. He and his audience were watching some Stephen Colbert clips, and it's great. They went about 9 minutes in. So for a bunch of conservatives to take that many punches is just entertaining alone. But let's look to see when Asmon starts punching back.
There's also an appearance in the files by Trump Commerce Secretary and Koala staring at you while he humps the branch. Howard.
So the entire thing is just leveraged about it being about Donald Trump being bad. Unredacted nude images on its website showing what young women or teen. Wait, what? The hell are they talking about? I didn't see any of this. Like, nobody talked about this. What do you mean? Sorry, Sarah, names and identifying information exposed. Oh God. Like, this is, it's so embarrassing, guys. It's all about Republicans. Exactly.
So first off, we should note the disappointment on Asmon's face when he finds out that the Justice Department published dozens of nude images on its website of young women or possibly teenagers. He's like, wait, I didn't see this. Why am I out of the loop? It was both like FOMO, disappointment, resentment, so many emotions right there. And it is true. That is something that the Justice Department fat-fingered and quickly retracted. But at that point, Asmon was in his defensive posture, and then he wasn't even able to put the next quote in the right context. And we have it here on the screen. Survivors are having their names and identities exposed, while the men who abused us are hidden and protected. That is outrageous. And so what was Asmon's response to that? Oh, God. He goes on to then say, it's so embarrassing. So this is a true statement also. Victims and survivors are having their names exposed, while the abusers are being protected. And so, again, I thought Asmon was all about the victims here. And he's doing the exact thing that he's accusing us of doing, making it all just about political bias. Let's take a look.
So what I think is kind of interesting, it's sad, hard to laugh at that. Well, are you really shocked, though? Well, it's crazy for me to see this, because it's just so blatantly dishonest. It is. It's so blatantly and deliberately dishonest. And the reason why is because very clearly, nearly everybody in power was implicated in this. Like, this wasn't a Republican thing. It wasn't a Donald Trump thing. And what I think that these people are doing that's wrong is that they're basically sidelining the idea of the Epstein files, and they're trying to compartmentalize it around it just being about Donald Trump.
And so as we saw in the clip where we started, it's not just about Donald Trump. We're talking about Howard Lutnick. We're talking about Donald Trump's administration. And this is all relevant because Donald Trump is in power, because Donald Trump is mentioned more than almost anyone else in the Donald Trump files featuring Jeffrey Epstein. And when you add the context of how Donald Trump did not want these files released, about how Donald Trump attacked his followers who did want them released, Asmongold is clearly brainwashed and doesn't want to live in the evidence of reality. But the best part is he's documenting it for all of history. Let's see where Asmon goes next.
Donald Trump was in the Epstein files. Absolutely, 100%. Everybody knows that. But beyond that, like, I mean, shouldn't you talk a little bit about the fact that, like, a lot of these conspiracy theories about eating babies and stuff happen to be true? Like, at what point is it more salacious to talk about Donald Trump doing something bad than other people eating babies? Like, what is this? It's cherry picking. Like, I feel like that's the main issue that I have, is that it's not that, you know, what they're saying is necessarily a lie. It's that it is the deliberate focus on it at the expense of everything else.
Okay, and so that is Asmon's power pivot. He's saying, hey, forget about all these child predators and how closely connected all of them are, and instead let's focus on this conspiracy theory that we can't prove. And by doing that, you are skirting accountability of all of those people who actually committed actual crimes where there is actual evidence for. And we're even seeing actions being taken like Prince Andrew being arrested. It's sad that we don't have actual accountability here. Now, with all that being said, let's dive into this conspiracy theory. Well, where did it come from? How did it come about? Well, first, the word cannibal and cannibalism is mentioned different times in the Epstein files. Cannibal is mentioned 52 times, while cannibalism is mentioned 6 times. Now, a lot of those mentions are summaries of news articles or online rumors, and then also references to things like a restaurant named Cannibal. You also have to remember that inside the Epstein files is documents about other conspiracy theories, so there's actually Pizzagate files in the Epstein files that would also include these words that would be triggered in these searches. There's also a cream cheese reference. There's an email attributed to Epstein that reads, "There are millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese." And another line from that same exchange says, "LOL, I don't know if cream cheese and babies are on the same level." And so when we take a step back and look at that, we have to go further than just words being mentioned. Context matters, and evidence needs to be demonstrated. And this takes us to the smoking gun for these conspiracy theorists. In the files is an email that came to FBI officials and was sent anonymously. The man alleged that he was a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut but left no scarring. And this all took place on Jeffrey Epstein's yacht, where he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines being removed, and individuals eating the feces from these intestines. The man also accused Epstein and other prominent individuals of assaulting him during that same incident. However, the DOJ records show that he did not prove any evidence to support his claim. But again, when we compare that claim made to the FBI to the limo driver claim that was made to the FBI, someone who didn't do it anonymously, someone who was able to give a date and a time, and someone who would go on the record. And so we can definitively say this isn't true, but it would be very easy to prove it. This person could just come out and say it was me. But there you have it. That is the evidence for the baby eating. And the real question is, should we invest a ton of energy there where this all came from an anonymous tip without any evidence or actionable intel? Or should we care about the actual, real, credible evidence that exists in those files that allow us to hold people accountable, just like Prince Andrew was held accountable? And if we go back to when Asmon began this tantrum, it was a picture of Howard Lutnick, a guy who clearly lied about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. It couldn't have been more clear. And again, when you put into the context of who Jeffrey Epstein is, that should be very concerning, especially when it's someone involved in our government. And Asmon is so blind to see any of this. All he does is keep pushing lies to his audience while claiming what we're doing is lying.
Leopards are eating my face.